Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. More Scrimbux getting revealed last night, especially the new global esports team seemingly having a rather good time against PaperX. You know that Zeltis gave his thoughts the other day on what PaperX might need to do in terms of role changes. It seems that based on some evidence behind the scenes, maybe PaperX not having the best time right now. Lots of other interesting updates on the day as well, especially from Gen.G talking about the fact that Floor could well be playing for his tier 2 team right now, but that's a very different story given the way the season is actually allocated. Very much on Twitter, your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I greatly appreciate it. Global Esports, by the way, bringing in Elevated Speaks as their coach. So, clearly they're cooking up something right now. We'll get more to that in a second. Firstly, changes incoming. Harbor and Deadlock not used especially much as it stands. The rumor has it changes are going to be made there to maybe make these characters slightly more viable, whereas Neon might go the other way. Although, to be fair, NRG were making the point that, you know what, maybe Neon isn't actually that powerful. I think the argument always is the agent might be annoying and very challenging to deal with, but are you using the agent all of the time? I mean, if it's a pick rate of 80% as Chamber was in his prime, if not maybe even sometimes more than that, then, fair enough. Sounds overpowered. But Neon might be strong. However, is she actually way too strong? And this is, potentially an argument. Now, the real NRG guys are basically saying, yeah, she's too strong. And even Marta says it as a bit of a joke anyway. So, yeah, I think most of the players are pretty much in agreement that, yeah, Neon is too good. But you could argue from the perspective of, okay, well, Neon's pick rate isn't actually insane. So maybe it's fine. Which, and also when you have an overpowered character, it does make the game quite interesting because you need the player with that character to deliver, right? Like you need your Neon to out Neon the other Neon, because if you don't, then you're probably going to lose the game, as it was with Chamber back in the day. If your Chamber was getting farmed by the other Chamber, you're probably going to lose. So I don't think the meta's quite like that, but it is nonetheless interesting. Now, other roster stuff. Loud confirmed Toys is back again. We know that it's been a very interesting few months for Loud with everything that's been going on. There were, of course, rumors that even, Sassy and Aspas might have returned over there. That never, of course, ended up happening. Aspas is going, we think, to MIBR. They've still got to finalize things, and Loud have on some level run out of cash. That's at least how it looks. But yeah, Toys is going to stay around. Seems Kawazan's going to stay around as well. So, I think at the end of the day, it's not a disaster for Loud, but they're not where they would like to be, I imagine, and where they were a couple of years ago when, of course, Sadak was leading the lines. Now he is over in EMEA. This is a confirmation as well here from Zenfu that he's retiring from professional Valorant. Another one bites the dust, basically. Obviously had a good career. Wishing him the best going forwards. But yeah, Japanese player who's been around for a little while. He played on Detonation, actually, I believe, not that long ago. And as, yeah, Zekin says, getting yourself with the guy. Amazing player, good luck. So wishing him the best in his next adventures. Yeah, actually, here it was. I brought up some stats really from his career and just looking at who he played with most recently. Yeah, it was Varel, and then it was a Detonation Gaming, and then Northeption, of course, just before that. It's been around a little while, but he's decided that he's going to call it a day and search for new adventures. But I wanted to share a very interesting clip here from the way that the Game Changers World Championship is currently going on. We know that SR are going to be the favourites. They are in action very shortly indeed to see if they can make it through to the next round. Floor has obviously been the best player, and there's been, a fair bit of drama on where Floor might go next, right? Is it possible to go from, let's say, Game Changers to tier 2 and then up to tier 1 potentially, or what does that actually look like? There's been, I think, was it even Demon 1 said that, yeah, Floor's very talented, but no, it was Narrate, wasn't it? It was Narrate who said Demon or Floor's very talented, but, actually proving that and maybe overextending and making plays that you can do against GC comp and you can't necessarily do higher up is an argument. So Sean Gares makes a very interesting perspective yesterday that his intention was to at least trial Floor for the MXS Academy roster, right? And just see if Floor could have what it takes, because the talent seemingly is there to get through to tier 2 and potentially beyond. But he pretty much calls out Riot here and he says, hey, it's going to be so difficult for us to trial Floor or any Game Changers player that we would have wanted to because of the timings. They have to lock in their rosters by the 17th of November. The date where the GC World Championship ends is the 17th of November. There is no time for these players to be trialed, and it's basically as bad as possible, right? If Riot want to talk about bringing players from GC to tier 2, maybe even to tier 1, the way that it's currently organized just doesn't facilitate that happening. So a very interesting clip here, and there's also this. I'll just share the clip in a second. But these are the groups for the NA Challengers, and here's MXS in Group B. So, and who knows, in another environment, in another world, Floor might be on that team. But the way that a timing has worked for the season with the GC World Championship happening now, it's just not possible.
I really wanted to give Floor a tryout to the Challenger team. And since I'm the GM of the Challenger team, I could have done that. And I said I was going to do that. I said I've always wanted to do that. And I'm friends with Floor. Like, I'm friends with the team. Like, I wanted to do that. But the GC calendar directly hinders. In fact, it could not be worse with the GC players' ability to make it to Challengers. And this is something I realized as a GM, is the end of the GC Championship is 11-17. The extension I received on Roster Locks chat is 11-17. So all of these other players, the ex-VCT players, the Challenger players, they're all getting tryouts. So if I wanted to give Floor a try...
So Crew Blaze, they took down Giants GC. They advanced onwards. Of course, Zeta Division as well, they got through. And these games are coming up very shortly. Yeah, so G2 goes in MIBR. And then SR, Zipto. Those are your big series of the next few hours to see where things go next. But let's talk next about some Scrimbux over the last day or so. There have been some interesting teams noted. This was certainly one of them. So we have Dapper, Nismo, Okonos on one team. So Dapper, obviously, he's been around the block a little bit lately, and we'll see if that goes anywhere, because of course Nismo, just a tough turn of events for all of those M80 guys, especially Nismo really, because he was so close to getting a spot into the league. M80 was so close to qualifying for the league, winning Ascension. They didn't. In the end, they fell just short. And yeah, BCJ was on that situation as well. And again, they couldn't quite make it happen when it really mattered. So yeah, BCJ looking for new opportunities. He was 13-8 on a team with Paint and Pancakes. So yeah, some trials, some scrims happening down there, of course, in Tier 2. We also had this one. So again, Pain, Pancakes, BCJ, and also we had Okonos and Whippy in another one, right? So yeah, just keep an eye on what's happening there. This, however, was one of the big screenshots that was causing a bit of drama yesterday, was GE versus PaperX. So of course GE confirmed their brand new roster, certainly with Crystal leading the line. Things are looking pretty good over there. But of course on the other side, they were scrimming PaperX. Of course Alex, the coach of that team, was over there. And there's been a big debate lately about PaperX and what they're going to do, because they could have decided to blow things up, make some changes, change their roster around, try and take the next level. Because over the last few years, PaperX have got close to really delivering championship success, but it's never quite arrived, really. And even this year, it was Gen.G who delivered the first victory for Pacific, not PaperX. Now, in this current meta, with Neon as she is, you can understand things are quite chaotic. Maybe PaperX can capitalize on that chaos. But the argument is, this is what Zelsis was saying, that maybe Jig needs to go full-time duelist. They switch things around elsewhere. They figure out where something lies in the team and where Devi and Forsaken and Mindfreak might potentially fit into the lines as well. But, you know, they could change things around at PaperX because they've not decided to blow it up and make any big changes elsewhere. They could have tried something else in terms of an import potentially to the team, because they didn't deliver as they wanted to at the end of the year. And now we're seeing interesting scrims. Look, it's just one map, but an 11-2 scoreline doesn't lie, and that's pretty impressive, obviously. Now, we don't know. Maybe they played 3 maps here and PaperX won the other 2 13-0. We don't know. That's possible. But it seems unlikely based on the outcome here. So, GE looking good, or is this PaperX looking a little bit troubled as of late in terms of what they're going to do next, how they take their team to the next level they're trying to get to, because that is the challenge for any team that stays together for a significant portion of time. It is incredibly rare that a team will form, they will be good, they'll be potentially very good, maybe nearly good enough to win the World Championship or championships in general, as PaperX very nearly did. It's incredibly rare that a team in that situation will basically stick it out, learn and try and improve as a team, and then go on to surpass those initial expectations. Usually, you see the potential and the ceiling of a team within the first, 8 months of them being a team, to say the very least. When things go on a bit longer than that, then you start to get questions raising on whether, they can really do it. And look, I think PaperX have the potential, they've got the talent, and they're deciding that this is what it takes for them to be the absolute best. but it's maybe doubtful that's going to work. And sometimes a role change is all that's necessary. Just changing things up slightly within the team could be a good idea. So we'll see if they take Zelz's advice on that one. Of course, the other side, though, is GE. Of course, they've not decided to go down the Indian route this year, but they still have on paper a pretty nice roster with Krista leading the way. So interested to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Votre capitaine est in-game leader,
Bro, what? Look how fucking packed it is. Bro, what?